You're watching Boomer TV, and today we are talking about virtual reality. And adopters of this tech phenomena are baby boomers and beyond. That's what we're going to talk about with MyndVR expert Jim Gleason. This is Andy Asher, editor at boomerboomer.com. We invite you to be part of the journey on the platform that will launch you to the most fulfilling life you want after faith. Today, Jim talks about future applications of virtual reality. And now, here's Jim Gleason.
Well, thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. You know, there's a lot of really interesting things going on, and some of them are closer than you realize. You know, we've talked about how far VR has come, where in 1898, you looked at a mirror that was at 45 degrees and saw two different photographs, to the blue and red lenses on movies and all. Today, it's really starting to fulfill its potential. I want to discuss three areas that I think boomers are going to be using VR to their surprise really within 2 or 3 years, because these are all things that are under development now. Earlier, we had talked about how MyndVR is helping solve isolation by allowing seniors to travel, put a headset on, and their son or daughter can be there with them and see what they're seeing and participate with them. But it does require local proximity. One of the things that's really exciting that's happening now, sports teams are starting to put in virtual reality cameras all around their arenas. In fact, right now, the NBA, you can sign up for a package that allows you to watch a game in 360. Now, that's pretty cool, but do you really want to go watch a game by yourself? Is that really very fulfilling? Probably within a year or two, you'll be able to get a headset, and I'll say, hey, Andy, let's go watch the Mavericks tonight. You'll put on a headset, I'll put on a headset, and we are there. And even better, you and I are there together, so we can share it. We can go watch a game together, even though we may be hundreds of miles apart. And that's what's really fulfilling, is sharing these adventures. You know, it's great watching a game. It's a lot more fun when there's someone to talk to, like, oh man, could you believe that dunk? And that is not that far away. And that's something that boomers are probably going to be doing within 2 or 3 years. Same thing on movies. You know, right now you have to go to the movie theater. Now, you can see some 360 movies, but once again, you're doing it by yourself. Probably within 2 or 3 years, we'll be able to watch movies together hundreds of miles apart. So I'll call you up and say, hey, this new Tom Cruise movie coming out, I'd really like to see it. Let's go watch it tonight. And then we'll put our headsets on and we're watching it together. The shared experience is so much more important. It's great to get outside your four walls and do things virtually. It's a lot more fun when you can do it with someone. It's like in real life, like you're actually leaving your house with them and going somewhere and doing it. And then there's a really cool one going on right now that I could see myself doing as soon as they do it. Right now, you can virtually do painting. You can actually virtually do whittling and carving and sculpturing, but they're still not, you don't feel hitting the hammer. It's you can tell it's not real. They're coming out with systems where you're going to wear gloves and you're going to paint, and you can feel the paintbrush. You can choose to either press hard, press light. You can chisel or whittle, take a deep cut or a small cut. Now, here's where it gets really cool. After you've done that, you'll send it to a 3D printer that actually makes what you just did exactly. The paint shop, you'll be able to paint without having having to set up a separate, converting your garage to a studio. Now, painting is a little different because it's a bigger format, but today you can send a photograph and have companies actually take that photograph and make it a painting on canvas. Soon you'll be able to do that with photographs that you did virtually, so that you can actually see the texture. You know, right now you can do it virtually and print it out, but it still looks like a flat 2D surface. You'll be able to do it in 3D soon, see the texture of the different brush strokes, the different kinds of brushes, the different kinds of paints, and then actually have it come to your house and in real life see that texture of the paint, that texture of the different stroke techniques delivered right to your doorstep. These are three areas that I think that boomers within a year or two, are going to be doing, much to their surprise. They don't realize how close these things are to becoming reality. Um, so, Andy, a year from now, I may call you up and say, "Hey, let's go watch the Cowboys." Well, maybe not the Cowboys; they're not doing very well this year. But, but hey, let's go watch. Mahomes and the Chiefs win a game, and you and I will be able to put our headsets on and actually attend that game, walk the sidelines, and it will be just like we're there experiencing that game together.
Oh,
So, and
that's
I'm not
very
sure who your team is, but you can pick.
yeah. Oh, I sort of go with the leading team. So yeah, you said Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. So that's who I've been following. But that is so cool, and I guess that means a whole nother set of cameras and equipment and infrastructure on the sidelines of games to be able to get all those great shots, huh?
That's very astute of you, Andy, because what is absolutely true is that they will do stitching on the fly, meaning those 18 cameras will real time stitch themselves together to provide a 360. That's something we're doing manually today. But within a year or two, those cameras will automatically do that. And so there may be a 15 or 20-second lag, but that's the bleep lag that a lot of them have now. So people won't even notice that. But you're right. Technology is going to coalesce around those virtual experiences and make it seamless. You're absolutely right.
Well, listen, I know this is the last show in our season here, so remind us again, where MyndVR is going in all this, and
Well, one of the things that MyndVR does right now is we allow seniors who are isolated, like in senior living or aging in place, to get outside their four walls and do things like travel or go skiing. But what's really important, we have a companion tablet that allows, for example, their kids to do it with them. Because the seniors, they do want to go skiing, they do want to attend a concert, but really what they're craving is social interaction. And what we do, we allow them to experience it through the headset, but for their kids to watch it along with them and participate and make it like they're taking a virtual field trip together. So when these seniors starting getting isolated, and now suddenly not only are they expanding beyond their walls, but they're doing it with other people, they're becoming externally focused. That does so much for their psyche. It prevents depression, and there's studies out there that show that it prevents the need for pharmacology. So we're really excited about helping bring a whole another level of wellness to these seniors.
let's see. We do have a question here from Jeff. He says he and his wife are looking uh, for a retirement home that they might not immediately, but maybe
Mhm.
down the road. Can he ask whether or not they have VR available at the home, or how should they go
Oh,
about doing that?
absolutely. In fact, I'll tell him a funny story. I was in a senior community, and we were telling them how, look, this shows that you're on the leading edge of trying to make these seniors fulfilled. I said, imagine that you go to one home and they're doing bingo for activities, and you go to another home and they're traveling the world and skiing and going to concerts. Right at that same time, a marketing person was walking a potential family through the building, and they saw us there with the virtual headsets, and suddenly we were the selling point of the community. So absolutely, you should really request that these communities are putting technology forward to help these seniors and getting out of the old, let's play bingo, let's do Trivial Pursuit, because those get old really quick and they're very repetitive, and seniors need to be stimulated. The stimulation is just paramount. So absolutely ask if they do those kinds of things.
Was wondering about the future. She just wanted to ask you, where do you see this in 10, 20 years?
Oh, wow. There are some pretty crazy things going on out there. Probably within 4 or 5 years, you'll be able to take guitar lessons without even having a guitar, and you will develop the muscle memory, the tactile feedback on your fingers. You'll be able to do all these things remotely. You'll be able to actually drive a car in the world anywhere you want. You can tour Yellowstone right from your doorstep. What you're going to find is that as 5G and stuff beyond 5G starts getting implemented, the bandwidth to send this data all over the world is going to open up like you wouldn't believe. Right now, we were talking about the sports games. It takes a lot of bandwidth to send all the data to make it look like you're courtside in real life. Now imagine that you're traveling down a road. You've got to have tons of data because the road changes every mile. So as we advance in our ability, like with 5G and 6E Wi-Fi, to transmit more and more data, you're going to find that it gives you more and more access to remote locations and the ability to do things on the fly. You literally, probably in 10 years, will be able to drive to Yellowstone, drive through, see the animals, actually reach out and touch them and feel what they feel like, all from the settings in your house.
You've been real generous with your time and information, and people can, I guess, follow. Well, maybe should they find out more about your firm, or maybe just
Sure.
keep in mind the what you guys do and everything?
I tell you, go on to our website is MyndVR, and it's with a Y, MYNDVR, so MyndVR.com. Sign up for our newsletter, and we do keep people up to date on a lot of the great things that are happening. When you're involved in the industry, we get to see a lot of leading edge stuff, sometimes 18 months, 24 months before it really comes out into the public.
Well, Jim, thanks again. It's been a fantastic season and series, and we'll check back in with you from time to time to see where things are going.
You betcha. Thank you. It's been a blast.
Well, and I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been a great show with Jim Gleason with MyndVR. And you can find out more at Facebook and YouTube and boomerboomer.com. If you like it, please like us and follow us on Facebook.